Okay, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium to wrap up the three-game set here. Second game of a doubleheader this afternoon. I'm Mike Leader, the Director of Athletics here, filling in for Assistant Athletic Director and Sports Information Director Keith Micklig. Keith was called to an assignment in Albany today, so Keith is on the shelf here for Game 2, so you'll have to suffer through. I gave you 3 innings at the end of Game 1, and unfortunately for the fans out there, I'll get all 9 innings of this game. So we'll wrap up the 3-game set here. Weather delayed, so we played Friday night, a Columbus State 9-5 victory, and then no games yesterday with the weather. Today, Game 1, Columbus State knocks off GSW 7-5, so we'll get ready for Game 3, the third and final game of the set. GSW will come into the game today with a 6-27 overall record, 2-18 in Peach Belt Conference play, looking to get a home win here on Senior Day, facing a potent Columbus State team that's second in the Peach Belt Conference, trailing only Georgia College. Columbus State comes in to the second game of this doubleheader with an overall record of 28-6, 12-4 in Peach Belt Conference play. So taking a look at the Game 3 starters as the Canes take the field. Columbus State, the visitors, will bat first, and taking a look at their lineup, the shortstop, Justin Evans, number 25, will lead off. Batting second will be the center fielder, number 7, Garrett Kirkwood. The third baseman, Mason McClellan, will bat third. First baseman, Frank Wager, is in the cleanup spot. The catcher, number 19, Robert Brooks, or correction, he'll be the designated hitter today. Second baseman, number 10, batting 6, will be Grant Berry. The left fielder, Austin Farr, number 22, will bat 7th. First baseman will be Chase Brown, number 14, batting 8th. And the right fielder will be number 11, Drew Webb. The Columbus State Cougars will be facing senior Kyle Spinks, number 33. Kyle will be making his 9th appearance today. All 9 will be starts so far this season. Kyle with a record of 1-4 overall, pitching to a 7.19 ERA. And on the year, Kyle's thrown 41 in the third innings. He's allowed 54 hits, 35 runs. Of those, 33 have been earned. He has 24 walks and 37 strikeouts, and he's allowed 5 home runs in his 41 in the third innings, and opponents are batting .325 against him. The last time out, Kyle threw a masterpiece, a complete game victory against Young Harris College on last Saturday afternoon. So 8 days ago, Kyle threw a complete game and toeing the rubber for the final time here at Hurricane Stadium. Kyle, a tremendous representative of GSW. He's had a great career here, and the 6'2 senior from McDonough, Georgia, will be toeing the rubber as we start Game 3. In Game 3, the leadoff hitter will be number 25, the shortstop, Justin Evans. Evans started at shortstop in all 34 games this year, and Justin came in and closed out Game 1 on the mound. Gave us a 3-up, 3-down inning to seal the victory for the Cougars in Game 2 of the series. Game 1 of the doubleheader, he went 1-2-3. 2 flyouts to left field and a ground ball to second to earn his 3rd save of the season. And we're ready to start the 3rd and final game of this weekend set at Hurricane Stadium. Spinks from the windup. Fastball in there for strike 1. Kyle, power pitcher. And Kyle's been a mainstay in the pitching rotation here all 4 years of his career. Kyle will be graduating with an exercise science degree, and Kyle planning on going to chiropractic school at Life University in Marietta. So we're certainly very proud of all the things that Kyle's done both on the mound and in the classroom. Missed a little bit with the fastball there at the knees. It's 2 balls and a strike to the leadoff hitter for Columbus State, number 25, Justin Evans. Evans, a junior right-hander, line shot right off of Spinks. Great play. Boy, that was a line shot right off the backside of Kyle Spinks. He hit it so hard it rolled in time to Tyler Skelton. Skelton picked up the ball and was able to throw Evans out, and I think Kyle's taking a long walk out behind second base now. That was a line shot right off the backside of Spinks. Head coach Brian McLean out there to take a look. And the head athletic trainer Shannon Green will now join Coach McLean on the mound. It was a rocket off the bat of Evans. Keep it down, ladies. That was a rocket off of Spinks' backside. I think he's going to be okay. He's taking a long walk behind home plate. They're giving him all the time he needs. But he looks like he's okay. Takes the pat on the back from both Coach McLean and from Shannon Green. I think the umpires will oblige and give Kyle a couple of warm-up pitches, and he looks okay. So Spinks retires the first batter. It was a line shot right off of his backside, and Tyler Skelton alert. The ball was hit so hard, like I said, it took about 2 more bounces to Skelton, and he got up and was able to throw on to Jared Jones. So the second batter of the game, Garrett Kirkwood, the center fielder from Alberta, Canada. Takes a strike, so Spinks looks no worse for wear, and he fires a fastball in there past Kirkwood, who looks at strike 1. Spinks from the windup, a quick worker, changes speed there. Kirkwood way out in front, and Spinks is out in front 0-2. Dakota Long catching today. Danny Molinari was the catcher in game 1, and we'll try to set the Hurricane infield as we have some time. Spinks with another changeup and 3 pitches, and Garrett Kirkwood has a seat on the bench. Taking a look at GSW around, Jared Jones will be the first baseman. Jason Beta will be at second. At third base will be Bradley Huff. The shortstop is Tyler Skelton again. In left field, Cole Clark. The center fielder, Josh Logan. Out in right field, Jonathan Martin. And catching today, Dakota Long. So very similar lineup for the Hurricanes that you saw in game 1 on the back end of the doubleheader. Mason McClellan, the third baseman, now digs in and takes a fastball from Spinks, pops it straight up in the air. Martin coming in, calls off Beta, and Spinks, after taking one off the backside, a very easy 1-2-3 first inning. So your score at the end of 1/2 inning, Columbus State 0, GSW coming to bat. Back here at Hurricane Stadium, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Take a look at GSW's batting order here as they face right-handed pitcher T.J. Clark of Columbus State. Jason Beta, the second baseman, will lead off. Josh Logan, the center fielder, batting second. Jared Jones will play first base and bat third. Andy Moore in the cleanup spot is the designated hitter. Right fielder Jonathan Martin bats fifth. The shortstop Tyler Skelton sixth. Dakota Long catching will bat seventh. Cole Clark out in left field will hit eighth. And Bradley Huff, the third baseman, will bat ninth. And they will face today, number 27 for Columbus State, T.J. Clark. Clark is 6'1", 205-pound right-hander from Mableton, Georgia, transferring in from North Carolina A&T, the Division I program up in North Carolina. TJ on the year. This will be his 10th appearance, his 9th start. He's pitched to a 4-3 record with an ERA of 4.78, 37 2/3 innings pitched, 39 hits, 26 runs, of which 20 have been earned. He's walked 24, struck out 37. He's allowed 1 home run, and opponents are hitting a collective 267 against the junior right-hander. And the Canes, after a Kyle Spinks relatively smooth 1-2-3 inning, will face the Division I transfer as he completes his warm-up tosses. Coach Nate Farrell ambles his way down to the first base box. Some of the Hurricanes taking some swings. The sun has finally peaked out a little bit more here for game 2. A little bit more sun than clouds. I think in the first game you would say we had more clouds than sun. So if the wind stays down and the sun stays out, might be a little bit better weather for the third and final game of the set. Clark has completed his warm-up tosses, and that brings up the left-handed hitting Jason Beta. Beta in the leadoff spot. 5'9" junior from Fruitland Park, Florida, Lake Sumter Community College. Game with Dakota Jackman. So we had a pair from Lake Sumter join the Canes this year. And Clark's first pitch, a fastball that Beta takes for strike one. No ball and one strike. Beta's played a little third this year. He's played some second base. He's kind of worked his way around the infield. And the switch hitting Beta will obviously bat left-handed against the right-handed Clark. Clark's off-speed pitch missed to the outside, leveling the count at 1-1 to the Canes second baseman. Clark gets the sign. And Beta swings through a fastball, so we're at strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Georgia Southwestern, looking to get one of the 3 here at home on Senior Day weekend. Weather played havoc with the schedule yesterday, getting 2 games in here on Sunday. Clark's 1-2 pitch misses outside, 2-2. So Florida resident here, leading things off for the Canes. We've had 5 runs in both of our first 2 games. Clark blows a fastball by Beta, who swings and misses for the first out, strike number 3. Cougars kick it around the horn. And it's going to bring up the center fielder, number 15, Josh Long, batting second today. Josh, one of the ones enjoying the Senior Day festivities, the 6'1 senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Mountain View High School. Spent a lot of time as a designated hitter in his career, pretty much took over center field this season, and has done a great job out there in center field for Brian McLean's Hurricanes. Tried to check his swing on a fastball from Clark. He did not. Home plate umpire calls a strike, so Clark works ahead 0-1. Fastball at the knee, strike 2. So Clark and Spinks, both quick workers, both power pitchers, and both appear to be on their games today. Not a lot of balls. Both pitchers have thrown strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Logan swings and misses, so Clark off to a good start. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts, both of the swinging variety. So that's going to bring up senior Jared Jones, the first baseman, 5'10 senior from McDonough High School, Union Grove High School. High school teammate of Kyle Spinks, both enjoying senior days, capping off very productive 4-year careers here. Both guys mainstays in the lineup. Spinks as a pitcher, and Jared spent a lot of time as a designated hitter and first baseman as well. Clark fires a fastball by him for strike 1. Clark, again, works quick. Second offering a little bit low to even the count at 1-1. Jones will have one more opportunity. Midweek game against Tuskegee University coming up. So certainly Jared will have one more game manning the first sack over there. And the senior drops one into right field. It gets by Drew Webb, so there's a hit and an error with 2 outs. So a line drive into right field that scooted under the glove of the third baseman. Webb, very reminiscent of the conference tournament game back in April, late in the game. A single and an error by Webb in right field last year, or last April in the conference tournament, allowed GSW to win and eliminate Columbus State and end their season. So Andy Moore, the designated hitter, comes up with the runner in scoring position now. Clark will have to work from the stretch. The left-handed hitting Moore. The redshirt sophomore from Warner Robins and Houston County High School digs in. Been consistently the designated hitter. He's seen some time in the outfield, seen some time at first. And Moore takes the first pitch into deep center. And drifting over to his left to end the inning is the Columbus State center fielder, Garrett Kirkwood. So for GSW, no runs and a hit. There was 1 Columbus State error, but no score. We end the first inning. Your score, GSW 0, Columbus State 0. We'll be back for the top of the second after these words. And back here on a chilly April afternoon for the third and final game of this weekend set between Columbus State and Georgia Southwestern. Kyle Spinks went 1-2-3 in the first inning. A line shot off of his backside that rolled to the shortstop Skelton to get him out at first. And then 2 more outs for Spinks to retire the side. And now Columbus goes to their cleanup hitter, the catcher, number 18, Frank Wager. Wager was the first baseman in game 1. Left-handed hitting. Junior, 6'3", 220 pounds, from Auburn, Alabama, Chattahoochee Valley Community College. If you weren't with us in the first game, we talked a little bit about the program over at Chattahoochee Valley, one of the perennial national champion contenders from over there in Phoenix City. And they're the alma mater of Tim Hudson. Hudson spent some time with the Braves, the Oakland A's, and got to start off at Chattahoochee Valley before he went on to Auburn University before his major league career. Wager takes the 1-0 pitch. Goes a little bit opposite field there between short and third for the Cougars' first hit. Opposite field ground and single.
First baseman, number 19, Robert.
And that's going to bring up Robert Brooks. Brooks, a freshman, 6 foot, 190 pounds, from Marietta High School, or Marietta, Georgia, Wheeler High School. Him and Wager changed spots. So in the first game, Brooks was the catcher and Wager played first. And in game 2, Brooks goes down 90 feet to play first and Wager comes in to catch. First time Spinks has had to go from the stretch today. Fastball that Brooks fouls into the Hurricane dugout. Wager not much of a threat to steal over there at first base. I'm sorry, Brooks will be designated hitting today. Chase Brown is the first baseman, so Brooks hands off to Wager behind the plate, and he goes to the designated hitter spot. So Assistant Sports Information Director Keeler McJunkin with the bad information for the radio play-by-play guy, so we'll have to dock Keeler's pay for that. Spinks misses up and in to level the count at 1-1. The guys are asleep at the scoreboard as well, so we're not off to a great start. Who are we missing over there, Brooks? Who are we missing? Oh. Spinks comes set. Wager leads off at first. Off-speed pitch a little bit high. So 2 balls and a strike. Each team has 1 hit. Each team has 1 hit. Brooks fouls Spinks' pitch right back into the net behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very difficult as a freshman to come in and make an impact on a good team. Brooks is caught and designated hitted, so he's been a very productive freshman, a good signing for Greg Appleton. And it's a fly ball out to left field that Cole Clark has no problem gathering and retiring for the first out of the inning. So Brooks has a seat. It brings up the second baseman, number 10, Grant Berry. Berry made an unbelievable play in the bottom of the 7th inning of game 1. The Canes had cut it to 5-4, loaded the bases, and Berry speared a hard-hit ground ball between first and second into shallow right, pirouetted, and made a great throw to Wager to end the Canes' threat at 5-4, and then Columbus came back in the top of the 8th and added 2. So Grant Berry with probably the play of the day defensively. Webb made a great play in right field on a catch, but Grant Berry's was certainly timely, and it kept Columbus State with the 1-run lead, and they went on to win by 2. So left-handed hitting Berry is a junior, Marietta, Georgia, Lassiter High School. So Columbus does a lot of fishing in the Marietta Pond, it looks like, to stock the baseball roster for Cougars. And Berry turns on a Spinks fastball and rockets one into right field. Wager goes station to station and stops at second. Martin flips into Skelton. So 2 on and 1 out here for Columbus State as they try to mount a rally on the senior from McDonough, Kyle Spinks. They work their way to the 7th hitter in the lineup, the left fielder, number 22, Austin Farr. A lot of lefties here for Columbus State. And Farr, the left fielder.
Number 22, left fielder, Austin.
6'1", 188-pound junior from Canton, Georgia, transferred from Kennesaw State. Made his way over to Columbus. A lot of young ones on Columbus State's roster, so this is a group we're going to be looking at again next year. They're second in the league this year, so bright future for Columbus State here over the next couple of years. Taking a look at their everyday players, a lot of juniors. Clark on the mound is a junior. The shortstop, Evans, is only a junior who also doubles as the closer. Wager's a junior. Brooks only a freshman. Webb is only a sophomore. Farr, Kirkwood are both juniors, so you're looking at a team that is built for the long haul. Spinks comes inside with a fastball and misses to even the count at 1-1. Farr fouled off Spinks' first pitch over towards the swimming pool. So 2 Cougars on, 1 out. 2 singles here. The cleanup hitter, Wager. And the second baseman, Grant Berry, with singles. Spinks from the stretch, takes a peek at Wager and blows the fastball by Farr to level the count. I'm sorry, to get ahead of the count, 1-2. Top of the second here, Hurricane Field. As I said, a little bit more sun than clouds in Game 2. It certainly helps up here in the scoring tent because the breeze was quite chilly here in Game 1. Spinks checks Wager at second. Goes to throw. Skelton wasn't there. Spinks holds up. And now retreats behind the mound. So Spinks will try it again from the stretch. Kyle shakes off Dakota Long. Let's see what he wants to call. Spinks changed speeds. Farr was out in front, pulled it foul down the first base line to stay alive at 1-2. To stay alive at 1-2. Wager takes his lead off of first. Grant Berry not being held. I'm sorry, Wager off of second. Grant Berry not being held at first. Jones plays behind the runner there. Spinks from the stretch. The 1-2 offering to Farr. In the dirt, Dakota Long blocks it up. Wager on his way to third and beats Dakota Long's throw to Bradley Huff. So Wager moves up 90 feet to make it first and third. Spinks short hopped the fastball there. Dakota kept it in front, but the ball got just far enough away. Wager alert base running to get from second to third. Now Jones has to hold Grant Berry at first to open up that hole between second and first for the left-handed hitting Farr. So that opens up a little bit of opportunity for him if he can pull Spinks' pitch here. The 2-2 pitch to Spinks, or from Spinks, was down and in. Farr took a hack at it and bounced it foul just outside of first base over the head of the Columbus State first base coach. So we'll do it again. 2-2 pitch here. Farr and Spinks locking horns. Columbus looking to break through, scoring first as they've done in each of the first 2 games. Scoring early. Spinks changes speeds. Farr had no idea it was coming, takes a peek. Strike 3 at the knees. No argument from Farr. Big out for Kyle Spinks. Chase Brown, the first baseman, did not play in Game 1. He comes up with the runners on the corners and 2 outs. Brown, another junior left-handed hitting swinger from Fort Scott, Kansas. Independence Community College, 5'11", 215 pounds. Another lefty. Spinks comes inside and misses for ball 1. Kyle trying to work his way out of a little bit of a jam here. There were 2 singles in the inning. And a wild pitch that advanced Wager from second to third. Spinks got a big strikeout against Farr. And a big 2-out hit by Chase Brown is going to give Columbus State the lead. So Brown stays back and drives a 1-0 offering from Kyle Spinks between first and second. Rolls through to right field and Jonathan Martin, and that's going to plate the catcher Frank Wager and give Columbus State the early lead, 1-0. So the 9-hole hitter here comes to the plate with runners on the first and second. Drew Webb, the 5'11" right fielder from Midland, Georgia, Brookstone High School, right there in Columbus. Made an error in the first inning off of a hit from Jared Jones. The ball got underneath his glove, no damage as Jones was stranded at second. Spinks comes in with the fastball. Webb fouls it straight back into the net. So Spinks gets ahead 0-1. Columbus State leading 1-0. 3 hits here in the top of the second, 3 timely singles. Pushed the first run across for the Cougars. Spinks changes speeds. Curveball in there for strike 2. Webb says something to the home plate umpire, but he agreed, nodded his head yes, and stepped back in. Don't know if it was more location, but that one looked pretty good. So Spinks ahead 0-2 against the 9-hole hitter here for Columbus. Spinks misses upstairs with the fastball, 1-2. Chase Brown, who did not play in game 1, comes in today, and the left-handed hitting first baseman singles in the first run, knocking in Frank Wager to give Columbus a 1-0 lead. Spinks changes speeds. Webb did everything he could to fight that one off and stay alive. That was a good pitch from Kyle, and Webb did a great job to stay alive. Spinks will go from the stretch again. Webb has started 30 of the 31 games he's played in this year. Spinks comes inside with the fastball, freezes Webb for strike 3, and gets out of the inning. So for the Cougars, 1 run on 3 hits. There were no GSW errors. The Cougars leave 2 on the base paths. Your score at the end of an inning and a half, Columbus State 1, GSW nothing. All right, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium here in Americus, Georgia. Glad you're joining us here for the Masters Sunday afternoon. Assistant Sports Information Director Keeler McJunkin giving us the Masters update. So if you got the TV on and listening to a little bit of the radio, we're happy to have you join us. The Canes come up to start the bottom of the second with the right fielder Jonathan Martin to the dish. Martin, a sophomore from Ocilla, Georgia, facing T.J. Clark. Clark went 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts in the first inning and starts Martin off with the fastball that missed. So 1 ball, no strikes to the Canes right fielder. We said that Clark was a Division I transfer from North Carolina A&T University right outside of Greensboro, North Carolina, out of the MEAC, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. This fastball doesn't miss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Martin. Martin was one of the top hitting and fielding freshmen last year in the Peach Belt and is really starting to round into form in league play. Got off to a slow start, battled through some injuries, and bounces one over here to the second baseman. And Garrett Berry flips it over to Chase Brown for out number 1. So Clark looks like he's off to a good start today, and that's going to bring up the freshman Tyler Skelton. Skelton from Mary Persons High School in Warner Robins. Has played quite a bit of shortstop here in his inaugural season with the Hurricanes. 6'2", from Forsyth, Georgia, technically. Clark misses with ball 1, the right-handed hitting Skelton. Made a great play defensively in the top of the first after a line drive went off of Kyle Spinks. Skelton alertly picked up the ball and threw it onto Jared Jones to get the first out of the game. High fastball there from Clark. Skelton fouls right back to the screen behind home plate. And a hustling Bradley Huff picks up the ball. So Huff staying active in between innings. And Clark looks like he's got it on cruise control here. First 4 batters have been relatively easy. Skelton fouls one towards the tennis courts. Crowd stayed pretty consistent through games 1 and 2. Some GSW student athletes enjoying the game. The 1-2 pitch from Skelton. Routine play over to short. So 2 up, 2 down in the second inning here. Justin Evans over to Chase Brown to retire Tyler Skelton. And we work our way to the 6-hole hitter. And it is number 6. Correction, the 7-hole hitter. We did have a hit in the first inning. Dakota Long. Dakota split the catching duties today. Danny Molinari catches game 1. Dakota Long, a senior from Macon, Georgia. 6'1", left-handed swinging, right-handed throwing catcher from Tatnall Square Academy. Dakota, 4-year letter winner. Dakota also the winner of a NCAA postgraduate scholarship. So Dakota's got 1 more semester of school, has to do his internship. But because of his work in the community, his grade point average, the NCAA awarded Dakota a degree completion scholarship. So we're very pleased for Dakota. And he sends a fly ball out to left field that Austin Farr makes a play out. So the Canes quickly go 3 up, 3 down. And TJ Clark rolling in the second inning. We complete 2. Your score, Columbus State 1, GSW nothing. All right, we're back here, Hurricane Stadium. Kyle Spinks completes his warm-up tosses as we get ready to start the 3rd inning of play here in the finale of the weekend series with Columbus State. GSW dropped game 1, 7-5. So a tough day for Hurricane Athletics, the GSW softball team. After sweeping the University of North Carolina Pembroke on the road Friday, they suffer a sweep on the road at bottom dwelling Francis Marion. Run ruled in both games, 8-0 in game 1, 9-1 in game 2. So Coach Levering's team struggled against the bottom team in the Peach Belt to even their record is 7-7 in Peach Belt play. So we start the 3rd inning here, and Columbus State turns the lineup over. So we're back to the top of the order with shortstop number 25, Justin Evans. Evans hit the screaming line drive off of Spinks' backside to start the game that Skelton retired him on with an alert play. So the junior shortstop, who moonlights as the team's closer, comes up with a hard luck 0 for 1 so far. Squares the bunt. Spinks short hops Dakota Long with an off-speed pitch. And Evans gets ahead 1-0. Evans has started every game this year at shortstop, and he's also made 8 appearances on the mound in his closer role. So Greg Appleton getting a lot of mileage out of that scholarship. Evans bounces traditionally over to Skelton this time, and this time does not need Spinks' help to retire Evans for the 2nd time for out number 1. So Spinks and TJ Clark, both pitchers seem to be in control here. Throwing a lot of strikes, and that brings up Garrett Kirkwood, the center fielder. Spinks comes and misses high for ball one. Both pitchers feature the fastball. Both throw a lot of strikes. Spinks fires a second straight fastball in there, fouled straight back. We mentioned in game one, Kirkwood has made his way from Alberta, Canada to Colby Community College in Kansas. I think he's found his warmest destination yet, which is Columbus, Georgia. So he's found a home in center field. He's found a home in the warmth of Columbus. Spinks misses upstairs with another fastball. 2 balls and a strike. A lot of left-handed hitters today for Columbus State. And a line shot off of Beta's glove. That's got to be a base hit. Went down and got a Spinks offering a fastball. Clubbed it. Beta made a dive to his throwing hand. And it ricocheted off of his glove, but a hard hit ball for sure for a base hit with 1 out. And that brings up the dangerous Mason McClellan, the third baseman, transfer from Charleston Southern. Kirkwood leads off first. Spinks offers an off-speed pitch that Dakota Long has to block up. Columbus with their 4th hit of the afternoon. McClellan, another one of those Division I transfers. Spinks again, offers with an off-speed pitch. Same result. Dakota has to block it up as it short hops the plate. McClellan ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Said he's from Charleston Southern in the Big South Conference. McDonough, Georgia. So Spinks also a McDonough native, misses for ball 3. So Kyle in a little bit of trouble here. Gave up a 1-out single to the center fielder Kirkwood, and now he's fallen behind 3 balls, no strikes to the 3-hole hitter McClellan. See if Greg Appleton gives him the green light. He does not. And Spinks comes in with a strike, 3 balls and a strike. Midweek game for GSW against Tuskegee University, and then it's back on the road. Their last 3 series of the year will be on the road. Be at Lander University next weekend in Greenwood, South Carolina. Spinks throws over to first to check on Kirkwood. No tag applied by Jones, so Spinks will go back in and tow the rubber from the stretch. Greenwood about 4 hours away, so GSW goes Lander, Francis Marion, and then Pembroke. Spinks misses low for ball 4. Kirkwood was on the run. Dakota Long couldn't field it up, and I think it clipped the umpire. So 2 on and 1 out here as McClellan draws a 1-out walk. So a single and a walk to bring up Wager. Frank singled to left field his first at-bat. Hard grounder between short and third and made his way all the way around to score the only run of the game.
Catcher number 18, Frank Wager.
So Spinks has got himself in a little bit of a jam here in the 3rd inning, trailing 1-0. The cleanup hitter Wager, only a junior, 6'3", 220 pounds, catching today. Played first base in game 1. Spinks comes with some off speed, just a bit outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Certainly Kyle doesn't want to fall behind and have to give in to the cleanup hitter here. And TJ Clark has been rolling in his first 2 innings, so we don't want to give him too much of a cushion. Spinks comes set, misses downstairs, ball 2, so he's missed on 5 of his last 6. And Kyle's working himself into a little bit of a jam here. As we said, Spinks a 4-year letter winner here at GSW on senior day. And Kyle primarily a starter, but had come out of the bullpen earlier in his career. Got a start in the conference tournament last year. Kyle misses upstairs, and for the second straight batter, he runs 3-0. With Cougars on first and second. Be interesting to see if Greg Appleton turns loose his cleanup hitter with the 3-0 pitch. Spinks has got to come into him. Appleton will play it by the book or turn his catcher loose. The pitch. And he missed outside, so Spinks walks 2 in a row. And now we've got the bases loaded. And the designated hitter, freshman Robert Brooks, will come to the plate. And we now have a meeting of the minds at the mound. Coach Brian McLean works his way to the mound. To have a few words with the senior right-hander. The meeting was quick. Sorry for the delay. I'm texting my wife my food order, Keeler. So my wife spent some time up in Atlanta today, and she's coming home and wanted to know if I wanted anything to eat. So after the game, I can go home and get a little food. And now the meeting's over, so now we'll get back to baseball, Keeler. So Spinks with the bases loaded, facing the freshman Robert Brooks. And Spinks misses again to start off 1-0 to the designated hitter who caught in game 1, Robert Brooks. And again, not many freshmen that you see as everyday players for one of the top teams in the Peach Belt Conference. So Brooks must be a good one. Brooks lines the second pitch. Foul down the right field line. So Spinks at a jam here. The base is full of Cougars. Only 1 out. 1-0 here in the top of the third. GSW looking to get one of these 3 on senior weekend. Spinks from the stretch. Misses way upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. And there's action in the Hurricane bullpen. Number 34, Harrison Timberlake will start to crank it up. Harrison just a freshman. Harrison's had the opportunity to appear in several games out of the bullpen, so Harrison looks like he'll be the next one up if Spinks gets in trouble. Kyle from the stretch, and Brooks fouls another one off. So Kyle's got it to 2-2 here with 1 out. Timberlake looks like he just about started warming up. He's not even on the mound yet, just kind of loosening up down there on the left field line. So keep an eye on that for the Hurricanes. Again, the base is loaded here with only 1 out in the third inning. Spinks comes set and delivers. And Brooks hits one a mile in the air. Not very deep. The tag. Clark's throw. Not in time. Dakota Long had to bat it down. They didn't cut it off, so the base runners will advance. So a sacrifice fly for the freshman Robert Brooks. Garrett Kirkwood comes in and scores to make it 2-0. McClellan advanced to third. Wager advanced to second. So runners still in scoring position for the second baseman Grant Berry. And Berry scalded a single into right field his first time up. So 2-0 here, Columbus State. Spinks still going to go from the stretch here. The left-handed hitting Berry looking to extend the Cougar lead. 1 run in the second, 1 run so far here in the third with 2 outs. And Berry does just that. A bouncing ball through the middle between second and short, right over the second baseman, or right over the second base bag. That will score both McClellan and Wager. So a 2-out, 2-run single for Grant Berry. So Berry 2 for 2 on the day now. Extends Columbus's lead to 4-0, and the 5th Cougar hit. And Spinks still has to go from the stretch here with The left fielder, Austin Farr, number 22, takes them. And a steal attempt by Grant Berry. Dakota Long comes up firing, throws him out at second. So that'll end the Cougar half of the third. But Columbus State picks up 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no GSW errors. Columbus State's base runner was eliminated. So we head to the bottom of the third. Your score, Columbus State 4, GSW nothing. Boone acknowledges here they've been going to Loki's. Who is Dr. Badson? All right, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium. We head to the bottom of the third inning. The Cougars have jumped on senior Kyle Spinks for a 4-0 lead. And Clark, the Division I transfer from North Carolina A&T, has only allowed 1 hit so far and looked very much in command, throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, using that overpowering fastball as he completes his warm-up tosses. The Hurricanes will lead off with the number 8 hitter, be the left fielder, Cole Clark. Clark, a 5'9" sophomore from Brantley County High School, will lead things off here in the home half of the third inning against TJ Clark. Cole, right-handed hitter, squares the bunt, pulls it back, and Clark misses upstairs, and I think he was a little bit surprised that he did not get the call. It looked a little bit high on the off-speed pitch, so he goes back to work at 1 ball and no strikes to the Hurricane left fielder. Gets the call at the knees with the fastball to even the count at 1-1. So Clark squared to bunt the first time, was not looking to bunt this time. And Clark is a fast worker. He's not looking to waste a lot of time when he gets the ball from Wager. He's ready to go again. Nice breaking ball that Clark was way out in front of. TJ Clark in command now at 1-2 to the sophomore Cole Clark. Wind has kind of died down here in game 2. And that 1-2 fastball, Clark lines right off the pitcher's mound up the middle. And there's a leadoff base hit for the Canes for the first time. So we get the leadoff runner aboard.
Third baseman, number 10.
And now our third baseman, the 9-hole hitter, Bradley Huff, to the plate. Huff, a 6-foot junior from Vienna, Georgia. Transferred from Middle Georgia State College. Had a big game last week, a couple weeks ago against Valdosta State. Hit a home run and had a game-winning hit in the top half of the ninth. As the Hurricanes took both games, the season sweep from Valdosta this year. Of our 6 wins, 2 of them against Valdosta State. So always good to beat the rival about 2 hours south. Clark misses with his first 2 pitches. So 2 balls and no strikes and a leadoff single. So maybe the Canes can put a little pressure on the junior right-hander here, making his 9th start for the Cougars. The 2-0 pitch. Wow, great. That was could have been one of the better double plays that you'll ever see. A tremendous play by the shortstop, number 25, Justin Evans, who rifled it over to the second baseman, Grant Berry, who pivoted and threw to Chase Brown, and Greg Appleton is going to come out and have a few words. That would have been one of the better doubles. You couldn't find it. Yeah, Greg Appleton has got it right. I don't know how. I think the umpire assumed there was no way they could turn a double play there, and that was unbelievable. So Coach Appleton is certainly letting his feelings be known. And I think that's one where the umpire may just have to say, Coach, you might be right on this one. It was a great play. Appleton says his piece and heads back to the dugout, jogging in, but an unbelievable play by Justin Evans, who was effective as a closer and has been lights out as a shortstop. So 1 out. Canes get a break there. Huff hit a hard ball. Then Evans had to go to the throwing hand side to make the play to get the lead runner on the force out to Grant Berry. So 1 out, 1 on. And Jason Beta, the leadoff hitter for the Hurricanes, steps to the plate. So Clark's missed a couple here. Ball 1. To the Hurricane second baseman, the switch hitter. Batting left-handed today. Clark changed speeds there and evens the count at 1-1. So Huff is now at first. Cole Clark, who led off the inning with a single, as he raced on the force out from Justin Evans to Grant Berry. And Hurricanes fortunate it wasn't a double play ball. Clark comes with another fastball. And Beta fouls it back behind the dugout at first base. Josh Logan on deck, the Hurricane center fielder. As Beta battling here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch. Beta turns on it. Just got a little bit out in front of it. Pulls it foul down the right field line. So Beta's gone a little bit behind on a fastball that he fouls over the third base, or the third base dugout, and then pulls an off-speed pitch foul. So Beta's used the whole field here on the last 2 pitches. TJ Clark. The Cougars have spotted him a 4-0 lead. Clark comes set. Checks Huff. And Beta bounces one between first and second. So the Canes pick up their second hit of the inning. A 1-out single by Jason Beta. Single between second and first. And the Canes play station to station. So we got runners on first and second here with 1 out. And the center fielder Josh Logan to the plate. Logan a strikeout victim the first time. GSW picks up their 3rd hit of the game, the 2nd of the 3rd inning. Keeping Clark pitching from the stretch. Off-speed pitch misses for ball 1. Glad you can join us here today. The video looks great. Clark comes set. Bounced the curveball, but I think that before the pitch there was yes, there was a balk. Okay, so that's no pitch. So the count will remain 1-0 if I'm not mistaken. The count remains 1-0, a dead ball, balk. So that's going to advance the runners. So now the Hurricanes have runners at second and third. As Huff moves to third, Beta to second. They each get to advance 90 feet on the balk by the junior pitcher TJ Clark. So Logan's got a chance to pick up some RBIs and cut into this Cougar lead here. 1 ball and no strikes, the count remains, as that was a dead ball before the pitch. Clark steps off the rubber. The sun has gone back in, so it feels a little colder out. Clark comes set. Misses inside with the breaking ball. Logan squared to bunt. I'm not sure if he's looking to bunt for a hit. Safety, I don't know where. But the ball was inside, so it never got into play. So Josh Logan now works the count to 2-0. With the first baseman Jared Jones on deck. So the Canes working to the meat of the order here with 2 runners on, 1 out. In the bottom of the third here in the finale at Canes Stadium. Fastball, Logan turns on it and rockets one into left field. Almost hit it too hard. But that single's going to bring in Bradley Huff. Bate is going to have to stay at third. That ball was hit so hard that it one-hopped far out in left field. So RBI single
The first baseman, number 7.
for the Canes center fielder, Josh Logan. And the Canes are on the board here in the third inning. So it's 4-1 now. GSW's third hit of the inning. Beta moved up 90 feet from second to third, so we got runners on the corners here. For the first baseman, senior Jared Jones. Jared, senior from McDonough. Teammate of starting pitcher Kyle Spinks at Union Grove High School. So Jared hoping to have a little senior day magic. Clark missed upstairs for ball 1. And he's run himself into a little bit of trouble here in the third inning. Nothing happening in Columbus State's bullpen yet. Clark comes set. Look to make a pickoff over there at Logan. Threw it over to Chase Brown. Nothing happening. Logan dove back in, but well ahead of the throw, the pickoff attempt from Clark. Clark comes set. Fastball, Jones. Fly ball to center. That's going to be deep enough to get a sacrifice fly and an RBI. So Jared Jones, the senior from McDonough, with the fly ball to straightaway center field. That'll score Jason Beta to cut the lead in half. So now it's 4-2. As Jones flies out to Garrett Kirkwood. And now the designated hitter and the cleanup hitter. Number 2, Andy Moore from Forsyth will come to the plate. The left-handed hitting Moore grounded out in his first at-bat. Logan remained at first. So the Canes have been able to parlay 3 runs and a balk into 3 hits and a balk into 2 runs. And Clark falls behind 1-0 as he skips a breaking pitch up that Wager blocks in front. The finale of this 3-game set. Columbus State comes into the game in second place in the Peach Belt. The 11 teams, Clayton State, the 12th team, does not sponsor baseball. That's why there's 11 baseball playing teams in the Peach Belt. Is Clark's fastball misses to go to 2-0. GSW at the bottom of the standings, finishing their home portion of the Peach Belt schedule today. The 2-0 pitch. Off speed misses, 3-0, so Moore works the count to 3-0. GSW will finish on the road with 3 straight series. Lander in Greenwood, South Carolina. Then they head up to Florence, South Carolina, in the beautiful stadium of Francis Marion University, and they'll close it out the weekend after that in Pembroke, North Carolina. So 9 straight to end the season in Peach Belt play. Andy Moore takes ball 4, fastball outside. Moves Logan up 90 feet to second base, so we got runners on first and second with 2 outs for the right fielder, Jonathan Martin. Martin, the Irwin County High School product, 6'1", left-handed swinging, left-handed throwing, right fielder. Clark comes set. Fastball, Martin hits it on the screws into left center. That's easily going to score Logan. And Martin's double will advance Andy Moore to second. Boy, Jonathan Martin first pitch swinging, and he went down and scalded the ball into left center field. Logan easily around third to score. Moore pulls up at third. Martin to second with a stand-up double. And the Canes have answered Columbus State's 3 runs in the third with 3 of their own. And the freshman Tyler Skelton to the plate.
Next up for the Hurricanes, number 1, shortstop Tyler Skelton.
As the Canes, their 4th hit of the inning. So with runners at second and third, the freshman Tyler Skelton has a chance to tie things up. Clark has run into trouble here in the 3rd inning. Still no action in the Columbus State bullpen. And with the runner on third, Clark is going to go from the full windup. Misses upstairs for ball 1. Skelton, the freshman shortstop, he's started all 3 games here in this weekend series. Clark's off-speed pitch misses 2-0. So Clark has really kind of lost it here in the 3rd inning. Cruised through the first 2 innings. Only allowed a single to Jared Jones. And he's given up 4 hits, a walk, and a balk in the 3rd inning. And the Canes have cut it to 4-3. Andy Moore takes his lead off third. Martin off second. The 2-0 pitch. And a lazy fly into right field. Drew Webb on the run, makes the catch, retires the side, but the Canes match Columbus's 3 in the top of the 3rd with 3 of their own in the bottom. So for GSW, 3 runs, 4 hits. No Columbus State errors. The Canes left 2 on base. We go to the 4th. Your score, Columbus State 4, GSW 3. So what? Ever in a major. All right, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, where senior Kyle Spinks will take it into the 4th inning, trailing 4-3. The 7-hole hitter, left fielder number 22, Austin Farr, will start things off for the Cougar half of the 4th. The pitching battery today, senior Kyle Spinks to senior Dakota Long. And Spinks misses. Ball 1. Farr caught looking as he struck out in his only at-bat against Kyle. Spinks fires a fastball by Farr to even the count at 1-1. Spinks bounces a breaking ball that goes to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike to the left fielder, Austin Farr, 6'1" junior transfer from Kennesaw State University. And Farr fouls Spinks' 2-1 pitch right over our spot here in the broadcast tent. A couple of fans scurry over to get it. Spinks' 2-2 pitch skids up to the plate. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've run it full. GSW looking to get one of the 3. Spinks with the full count pitch. Boy, Farr with a seeing eye single between Jones and Beta. So Farr starts the 4th with a 3-2 base hit into right field, past the diving Jones and right by Beta trying to get in behind Jones. So I don't think he could have rolled it out there any better. But a base hit to start the inning for Austin Farr. Now batting the first baseman, number 14, Chase Brown. Brown in the third inning with a big hit, a 2-out, 2-run single that opened it up for Columbus and gave them a 4-0 lead. And the Canes battle back with 3 of their own in the bottom of the third. Brown takes low for ball 1. Farr leads off. Spinks kind of checks his temperature over there, throws over to Jones. I don't think that was Kyle's A move, just kind of letting Farr know he's paying attention. Another lefty. And Brown pops this one up to Skelton on the edge of the dirt in shallow left field. Skelton takes about 4 or 5 steps back and makes easy work of Austin Brown. I'm sorry, Chase Brown. Now the bottom of the order up here, the 9-hole hitter, the right fielder, number 11, Drew Webb. Webb made a great play in game 1, a diving catch out in right field. In the last inning, he had to make a running catch to retire the side on Skelton. Webb first pitch swinging, fouls it straight back over by the tennis courts. We said Webb was a local product, Brookstone High School, right down the road from Columbus State University. So they had a lot of opportunities to watch him play. Spinks throws over to first. Webb was a everyday starter last year as a freshman, and he's continued that this year in right field, kind of manning right field for the Cougars the last 2 years. Spinks a little bit better move this time over to first. Farr not going anywhere. Spinks will get ready to go again from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Webb hits a little flare in there to left field on the run. Left fielder Cole Clark sprints in and makes the play. So Spinks, after giving up a seeing eye leadoff single, has retired the last 2 batters to shallow left. Skelton runs out to get the first out, and Cole Clark runs in to get the second out. So Columbus flips the lineup again, and it's going to be the shortstop, number 25, Justin Evans. Evans been retired twice by Skelton. Once the line drive off of Spinks' backside that Skelton scooped up and threw to first, and the last time at bat, more traditional 3-hopper to Skelton, and Skelton threw Evans out. This time Evans goes the opposite way and singles between Beta and Jones, moves Farr up 90 feet to second. So first pitch swing in there was the shortstop, Justin Evans, an impressive player. As we mentioned before, Justin came in and started every game as a shortstop, also as their closer. So he lines a single into right field for Columbus's 7th hit of the game here. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. Spinks has to dig in here in a 4-3 game, facing Garrett Kirkwood, the center fielder. A lot of lefties. Spinks comes with a fastball for a strike to get ahead 0-1. Columbus State known for their offensive prowess. They've scored 9 runs in the first game, 7 in the second game. We've already got 4 here in the third game, so certainly living up to their billing. Spinks comes set. Curveball misses. Dakota had to work to his throwing side to make sure the ball didn't get by him. Evens the count at 1-1. Spinks checks for the sign. Farr leads off second. Evans off of first. Spinks checks back to second. Comes set. Delivers low, 2-1. The dangerous Mason McClellan is on deck. I don't think Kyle wants to see McClellan until the 5th inning. So as we said, Spinks already accepted the chiropractic school at Life University next year. So Kyle, after he graduates here from GSW, good to see he's got a plan for his future, continuing his education. But now he's got to get it out here. He comes set, the 2-1 pitch to Kirkwood. Right down the middle, and Kirkwood fouls it over the third base dugout and almost caught Chris Finn's car. So went in the back of his bed. So Chris Finn, who does all the camera shoots here, for GSW. Gets a souvenir in his bed of his pickup truck. Well, the deuces are wild here. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Spinks comes set. The senior right-hander delivers. Pop foul. I don't think there's enough room. Boy, everybody gave chase, and between Dakota Long and Bradley Huff right in front of the Canes dugout, just not quite enough room. So Spinks is going to have to do it again. It was a good pitch. Kirkwood had to really fight to keep it alive. Huff gave chase, Dakota Long gave chase, and it bounced right in between the two of them. So the senior from McDonough will do it again. Just the home plate umpire cleans off home plate, has a few words for Dakota Long, and Kirkwood steps back in the box. Taps the plate and waits on Spinks. Spinks checks the signals. Spinks comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs, 3-2. Try to change speeds on Kirkwood there, so now we've run it full. Farr's going to get a head start here, so a base hit would probably score Farr with the 3-2 pitch. He's going to be off and running on the delivery. So Spinks comes set. Checks Farr. Fastball. Oh, right at Jared Jones. Kirkwood turned on it, but his line drive goes right in the glove of the old high school teammate for Kyle Spinks. So the Union Grove connection works there. Spinks delivers, and Jones gets the out on the other side. So for Columbus State, no runs, 2 hits, no hurricane errors. Columbus left 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Your score, Columbus State 4, GSW 3. Sorry, folks, away for a couple of minutes there. The leadoff hitter in the bottom of the fourth, Dakota Long, flies out to left field for 1 out. And now Cole Clark comes to the plate. So TJ Clark facing Cole Clark. Clark, the left fielder, facing Clark, the pitcher. Cole Clark tried to check his swing and did not on the first pitch fastball, so he falls behind, no balls and a strike. Canes down 4-3 here in the bottom of the fourth. Sun comes back out. TJ Clark hangs a curveball. Cole Clark rips it hard down the left field line into the Canes bullpen, but it's foul. So TJ Clark ahead of Cole Clark, 0-2. Clark ran into trouble in the third inning, allowed 4 hits, a balk and a walk, as the Canes answered Columbus's 3 runs at the top of the third with 3 of their own to cut it to 4-3. Spinks silenced the Cougar bats in the top of the fourth. So GSW with a chance here to knot things up in the bottom of the fourth. The Dakota Long flyout led off the top, or I'm sorry, the bottom of the fourth. And Cole Clark now behind 1-2 as he fouls one by head coach Brian McLean. Coach McLean didn't look like he was using the old skills that he has as a center fielder at West Georgia back in the day. The foul ball rolled by him. Coach wasn't eager to pick it up. So fastball that Clark bounces up the middle over second base for a base hit. So Cole Clark with his second hit of the game. I think he hit them both in the same place, right over second base. So Cole Clark has timed TJ Clark. And that's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, the third baseman, number 10, Bradley Huff. Huff grounded into a fielder's choice last time. Justin Evans turned that spectacular looking what should have been a double play, but a call at first base did not go Columbus's way, so it was ruled a fielder's choice, but a tremendous effort by Justin Evans last time at short. And a hit and run on, and this time there was no doubt it will be a double play. So a routine 6-4-3 double play as Cole Clark was running, and he ran into a double play. So a ground ball by Bradley Huff to Evans. Evans to Barry. Barry flipped it on over to Chase Brown. So then the Hurricanes, no runs, 1 hit. No Columbus State errors. There were no runners left on base. Your score after 4. Columbus State 4, GSW 3. Who's your number? Oh, all right, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University for the finale of this 3-game set between the Cougars of Columbus State University and our Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes. We head to the top of the 5th. Columbus on top 4-3. The 3-hole hitter, the third baseman, number 8, Mason McClellan. McClellan walked on his last at-bat against Spinks. And Spinks misses upstairs to start the 5th inning. I'm sorry. A little bit behind here. It's been a long day. Top of the 5th. Spinks fastball yanked foul by McClellan. So for Columbus State so far, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. for the Hurricanes. 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. So a very evenly played third game so far. We're about halfway through. On Senior Day, senior Kyle Spinks. Off-speed pitch misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Kyle's been a great representative of the Hurricane Athletic Program and Georgia Southwestern in general. Certainly sorry to see Kyle go. As McClellan lines one past the diving Tyler Skelton into left field. Huff quickly over to cut it off to keep him at a single, but McClellan rips Spinks' 2-1 pitch into left center field for the Cougars' 8th hit of the ball game. And that brings up the catcher, number 18, Frank Wager. So Spinks facing the heart of the Columbus order here. And now he's got the cleanup hitter Wager to deal with. McClellan leads off first. Spinks from the stretch. Wager looks at a fastball for strike 1. Spinks predominantly a fastball pitcher. Mixes in the curve and the changeup. Kyle comes set. Another fastball. Wager yanks that one into right field. McClellan's going to have to hold up at second as Martin fires it back in. So back-to-back singles by the 3 and 4 hitters for Columbus State. McClellan pulls one into left field, and Wager pulls one into right field. So they time Spinks up. And now we work our way to the designated hitter, Robert Brooks. So runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the home or the visiting half of the 5th inning. Kyle's worked himself into a little trouble here as the Cougars collect their 9th hit of the afternoon. Again, a very potent offensive team. They've certainly lived up to that billing. Spinks, fastball inside. Ooh. No, I guess it was a balk. So there is no pitch. And T.J. Clark had balked back in the 3rd inning. And Kyle Spinks returns the favor here in the 5th with a balk. So no count. Both runners move up 90 feet, so now Brooks has got 2 in scoring position with nobody out. And Brooks takes time, or is granted time. Doesn't mean just because you call it that the umpire has to give it to you, but they grant him time. So we'll try it again for the 3rd time. No count on Brooks, nobody out. Fastball that Brooks yanks into left field between short and 3rd. So 3 consecutive hits to start the 5th inning here for Columbus, all pulled hard off of the senior right-hander. So the second baseman, Garrett Berry, will step to the plate. Still nobody out. Runners now on the corners. As Wager moved up to 3rd on the single by Brooks, and McClellan scored. So Grant Berry comes to the plate. Columbus with 10 hits already. And now they've extended the lead to 5-3. Still nobody out. Spinks from the stretch misses upstairs, 1-0. Boy, you look at this Columbus State lineup up and down the line, and you don't see a senior out there. So GSW will be dealing with this lineup again next year. Spinks comes set. Fastball misses again downstairs, 2-0. And looks like Harrison Timberlake is going to start cranking it up again. So action in the Canes bullpen as Kyle Spinks has worked himself into a jam here in the top of the 5th. The 2-0 pitch to Berry. Spinks delivers. Berry goes down and gets it. A hard shot right at Jason Beta. So a loud first out on a 2-0 pitch, but the ball hit right at the Canes second baseman. Brooks alertly dives back to first. So the runners remain on the corners. And 1 out. So the left fielder, Austin Farr, will step to the plate. And it's funny, the last time Timberlake got up and warmed up, Spinks settled down and got everybody out. So we get Harrison up again, and Kyle gets an out. So the left fielder, Farr, steps to the plate. Spinks trying to work himself out of trouble, misses again. Upstairs, ball 1. Wager leads off 3rd. Brooks leads off 1st. Spinks delivers off speed in there for a strike. So Kyle pitching backwards here, fell behind 1-0 and came back with a great off-speed pitch. I don't think Farr was looking for the curveball. Spinks evens the count at 1. Comes back with another curveball and got Farr to pop up. This is probably not going to be deep enough to score Wager. Logan fields it. Wager's coming home. Logan's throws nowhere close. Dakota Long has to run up the third base line to field it. So a sacrifice fly for Farr, scoring Wager from third. Brooks advances from first to second. So Columbus State increases their lead to 6-3. And Brooks moves into scoring position. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Chase Brown. Brown with a 2-run single in his first at-bat. And then popped out to Tyler Skelton in his second at-bat. So Spinks trying to minimize the damage here in the 5th. Columbus has come across twice. Spinks' first pitch off speed outside for ball 1. So Kyle's falling behind some batters here in the 5th inning. Kyle was tremendous last Saturday afternoon in the 3rd game against Young Harris. After GSW struggled in the first 2 games, Kyle came in and slammed the door on the Mountain Lions to pick up his first conference win of the year. Kyle misses downstairs 2-0 to the left-handed hitting Chase Brown. A lot of left-handed hitters up and down this Columbus State lineup and a lot of underclassmen. So a potent offensive team that you'll be seeing and hearing a lot of here in the next 2 years. Spinks delivers and gets Brown to pop it a mile high to Beta. Beta backs up on the outfield grass and makes the catch. So that ends the top half of the 5th for Columbus State. 2 runs, 3 hits. There were no GSW errors. 1 runner left on base. Your score after 4.5, Columbus State 6, GSW 3. What's going on now? 17, but he's not going to bogey it. Back here at Hurricane Stadium here on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, we make our way to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Columbus State on top of GSW 6-3. And GSW will go to the top of the order now. The second baseman, Jason Beta. Beta busy last inning, caught a line drive for the first out of the inning and also retired the side.
Number 13, the second baseman, Jason Beta.
Drifting out into right field to catch Chase Brown. Pop up to end the inning. So we make our way to the bottom half of the 5th. Columbus State on top 6-3. Columbus State's TJ Clark, his 5th inning of action. Misses for ball 1. Try to go outside with the fastball. Beta wasn't biting. To left-handed, or the switch hitting Beta, batting left-handed against Clark. Clark from the windup. Comes in with another fastball. Beta chops at it and fouls it over the third base dugout to even the count at 1-1. Good crowd still on hand today for the second game. Not quite as good as it was in the first game. Clark misses upstairs with a fastball. Count goes in Beta's favor. 2 balls and a strike. Clark comes in with another fastball. Beta shoots it straight up to shallow left. Evans about 7 or 8 steps into the outfield grass. Retires Beta for out number 1. So that's going to bring up the center fielder, number 15, Josh Logan. Logan singled in his last at-bat against the Cougar right-hander. A little action now in Columbus State's bullpen. Can't quite get a number down there, but there's a right-hander pitching. Clark comes with an off-speed pitch. Logan with a hit in the hole. Evans comes up and makes an unbelievable, he didn't get him out, but that was an unbelievable play. Evans diving to the throwing side, came up firing and didn't get Logan, but boy, it was an unbelievable play. That guy is, they got to find over there at shortstop for sure for Columbus State. But still an infield single for Josh Logan. And that's going to bring up Jared Jones. Fastball misses down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Guys. Is it, you can't be doing all that on the radio. One ball and no strikes. Clark threw back to first base. Logan back in plenty of time. 1 ball, no strikes. Jones, the first baseman from McDonough, chases after a fastball upstairs. Fouls it out over the first base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Canes looking to get something going here. A 1-out infield single by Josh Logan, his second hit of the day. 7 in all for the Hurricanes as they trail 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Sun starting to set. The lights will be going on soon at Hurricane Field. Clark makes a little bit better move over to Logan. Logan dives back in safely, well ahead of the throw. Wager gives the sign. Clark comes set. Goes back to first. Keeping Chase Brown busy over there. Logan's going to get the jersey dirtier. Girls, I'm not going to keep, look, this is not going to be like kindergarten. I'm not going to keep telling you guys to keep it down. Allie, you guys can't keep talking like that. Clark misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Logan leads off of first. Shabrik, how come you don't ever talk?
I'm not talking.
You're the only one I don't have to tell to be quiet to. Clark comes set. Off-speed stuff in there. A little bit high, but he got the call. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Canes first baseman. As we said before, high school teammates of Kyle Spink. So senior day, we got 2 seniors that shared a high school career and now a 4-year college career at GSW. Clark's fastball slashed foul over first base. Jones is now changing bats. Or he's getting a little bit of rosin for the bat he had. You don't usually break an aluminum bat, so he was just getting a little a little stickum. So we'll do it again here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Josh Logan, your runner at first. TJ Clark on the mound. Paying a lot of attention to Logan over there at first. The 2-2 pitch, and they go back to Logan. Coach Farrell will be busy getting the dirt out of Logan's uniform tonight. Clark comes set again. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball, Jones to Evans. A 6-4-3 double play for the second straight inning. We've ended the inning on a 6-4-3 double play. So Evans flips it over to his second base partner, Barry, and Barry fires over to Chase Brown for a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Your score at the end of 5, Columbus State 6, GSW 3. Jeez, that's 2 straight innings like that, right? All right, we're back at Hurricane Stadium. We head to the top of the 6th. Columbus State remains on top 6-3. Kyle Spinks towing the rubber for his 6th inning of action here on Senior Day. Leading off for Columbus, and the top of the 6th will be the right fielder, the 9-hole hitter number 11, Drew Webb. I believe Webb flew out in his last at-bat. He starts off the 6th. Spinks try to change it up with an off-speed pitch, left it up high. Webb did not offer. 1 ball and no strikes to the homegrown right fielder, Drew Webb. Fastball, Webb turns on it and hits it a mile. It is over the Bozoff sign and gone. So Drew Webb starts off the Columbus State half of the 6th inning with a tape measure home run off of Kyle Spinks. Spinks missed with an off-speed pitch on the first pitch, 1-0. Webb did not miss on the second pitch. Hit a towering home run over the Bozoff sign in left field to extend the Columbus State lead to 7-3. So Drew Webb, the right fielder, hits his 3rd home run of the season off of senior Kyle Spinks. And now Columbus will flip the lineup, and the leadoff hitter, Justin Evans, back on at the dish, 1 for 3. Evans takes the 0-1 pitch and hits a fly ball to left field. Cole Clark shuffles over about 10 feet to his left and retires the Columbus shortstop. And that's going to bring up the center fielder for Columbus State, Garrett Kirkwood.
Center fielder Garrett Kirkwood.
The left-handed swinging Kirkwoods had a good series, both at the dish and in the field. Columbus picked up their 11th hit and their 7th run as Kirkwood. Good play by Jason Beta. First pitch swinging. Ground ball that Beta had to kind of dive for to the glove side. Took a tough hop, made a good play, fired onto Jared Jones to get the 2nd out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Mason McClellan, the 3rd baseman, number 8.
Mason McClellan.
McClellan singled and came around to score. Back in the 5th inning, he led off the 5th with a single. Spinks is off speed pitch to start. McClellan misses, bounces in front of Dakota Long. 1 ball and no strikes. So Kyle Spinks looking to keep it going here. The last 2 outs. Change speeds on McClellan. Pops straight up. Dakota Long with plenty of room. And Dakota did not come up with it. So it looked like Dakota had room. Looks like he ran out of real estate. So the umpire yelled out. I couldn't quite see, so I didn't know if Dakota caught it or it went out of play. So it looked like Dakota had room, but apparently not. So it's a high, awkward strike. So that levels the count to McClellan at 1-1. So new life for Mason. Spinks changes speeds. That looked good, but didn't get the call. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch. Fastball fouled straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the third baseman. Transfer from Charleston Southern in the Big South Conference. The McDonough, Georgia product, 6'3", 210 pounds. And one of the few seniors in the lineup. Spinks goes downstairs. Cole Clark gets twisted around out there left, but makes the play. So for Columbus State, 1 run. The 1 hit was a towering home run by right fielder Drew Webb. There were no GSW's errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Columbus State extends their lead to 7-3. All right, we're back here at Hurricane Stadium. Bottom half of the 6th now.
Leading things off for GSW is number 2 designated hitter Andy Moore.
And leading off the Kane half of the 6th will be the designated hitter Andy Moore. Moore's had a good day at the dish. The left-hander from Forsyth. Getting ready to face TJ Clark, who's back on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Had some trouble in the 3rd inning, but other than that, no runs for the Hurricanes. First pitch missing, ball 1 to the redshirt sophomore. Fastball pulled foul. Outside of first. 1 ball, 1 strike. And much like the first game, Columbus State had a ball come in from the bullpen. So Columbus State has action in their bullpen. Harrison Timberlake continues to warm in GSW's bullpen. Makes you wonder if that'll be all for Kyle Spinks. The senior's gone 6 innings, so Clark misses high to Andy Moore. 2 balls and a strike to the redshirt sophomore. Clark pulled the string again. Moore fouls it off his front foot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Canes trying to get something going here to avoid the sweep at the hands of Columbus State. The lights are on here now at Hurricane Field. The sun has gone down and the wind has picked up. 2-2 pitch down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch. Moore grounds to McClellan across the diamond to Chase Brown and to retire Andy Moore. 5-3.
Right fielder number 20, Jonathan Martin.
The right fielder, Jonathan Martin, steps in now. Martin doubled earlier in the game. So TJ Clark, nobody on, facing the Canes right fielder, the sophomore from Irwin County High School. First pitch, fastball down low. Martin takes for ball 1. Congratulations to Patrick Reed winning the Masters by 1 stroke. So now that everybody's done watching the Masters, they can finish off their Sunday sports with the end of the final 3.5 innings of the Hurricane Columbus State baseball game. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. More action in the Columbus State bullpen. Harrison Timberlake looks like he's kind of finishing up his warm-up tosses. Probably be the pitcher here for the 7th inning. Clark misses again. 3 balls and no strikes. So down 4. I don't know that Coach McLean turns his right fielder loose here. Martin may have the take sign. Doesn't matter as Clark misses down low and in the dirt. So Martin earns a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 6th.
Shortstop number 1, Tyler Skelton.
And that's going to bring up Skelton. Skelton's last at bat, he gave it a ride out to right field that Drew Webb made a running catch on to end the 3rd inning. Martin leads off of first, and now Clark's got to go from the stretch. And he misses. So it's 5 straight balls now after he retired Moore on a 3-2 pitch. He's missed 4 in a row to Martin and misses the first one here to the freshman shortstop, Tyler Skelton. Canes at home next Wednesday, or I'm sorry, this Wednesday against Tuskegee as Clark misses again. And then it's on the road next weekend, 3 in Greenwood at Lander University. Peach Belt Conference action. As we said, the Canes will finish the last 9 of the year on the road. Lander, Francis Marion, and Pembroke. 3-game sets on 3 successive weekends. Clark throws over to first. Martin back easily. Looks like for sure Harrison Timberlake will be coming in the 7th as he completes his warm-up tosses and puts his jacket on and makes his way from the bullpen to the Hurricanes dugout. As Clark misses again, 7 straight balls now as Wager goes out and talks to his right-handed pitcher. With a 7-3 lead, I don't think your manager wants to see 7 balls in a row. It's starting to get a little chilly. The wind isn't as pronounced, but the temperature has definitely dropped. So the 3-0 pitch to the shortstop, Tyler Skelton. Clark comes set, throws. Skelton looks at the just get me over fastball. If Timberlake does come in, he'll make his 11th appearance, which would tie for 2nd on the team. He's had 10 appearances in his freshman year so far. The 3-1 pitch from Clark. Skelton bounces to Evans, and that's the worst place you can hit it if you're a Hurricane. Another tough opportunity. But Evans gets the force at 2nd. Not enough time to turn it on a double play. So Clark bailed himself out there with the 3-0 count. Evans goes to his throwing hand side to make the play. So 2 outs now. And the catcher, senior Dakota Long out of Macon, Georgia, comes to the plate. Again, Dakota, the winner or recipient of the NCAA degree completion scholarship. So kudos to Dakota, as the NCAA will be picking up the tab for his 5th year of education. They award less than 100 across all sports at the Division II level, so a very high honor for Dakota. And Dakota's combination of leadership, community service, grade point average, and prowess on the baseball diamond earned him that prestigious award, only the 3rd in Hurricane history in the 12 years we've been in Division II. Ironically, another baseball player, Earl Dupree, a pitcher, and a softball pitcher, Haley Goodson, the other recipients of that very lucrative award from the NCAA. Dakota falls behind 0-2 before taking this one to bounce to the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes for the left-handed swinging Dakota Long. Dakota had a memorable home run last year in the opening round of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, a tape measure shot against North Georgia. Albeit a difficult loss, Dakota deposited one deep into the right field bleachers at Francis Marion in a 5-3 loss. Clark skips up another breaking ball, so Dakota's battled to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kane's trying to hang in there in this one, down 7-3. But you got to feel like Columbus isn't quite done yet, as hard as they hit it. And the offensive prowess, Clark 3 straight breaking balls, 3 straight misses. So Dakota Long runs the count full, 3-2. Action continues in the Columbus State bullpen. GSW's is quiet, as I believe Harrison Timberlake will be the pitcher. We could be closing the book on Kyle Spinks. Clark comes set. The payoff pitch to Long. Fastball. Dakota hangs by fouling the ball well off of first base across the street into the apartment complex. And we'll do it again. Columbus not holding the runner at first. Fastball just misses. I think everybody kind of froze there for a second, including Dakota, but it's ball 4. So another walk. Hurricanes now runners at first and second. Wager walks to the mound, and this might be all for TJ Clark. Let's see what. Here they come. They're all coming in, and another ball comes in from the bullpen. Columbus has had a hard time corralling the ball down in the bullpen. A lot of balls have come down this way from the bullpen. So, meeting of the minds at the mound. That breaks up. And it's going to be Cole Clark, the left fielder, coming to the dish. Runners at first and second. Hurricanes would love a 2-out hit here to kind of chisel away at that Columbus State 7-3 lead.
Next up for GSW, number 8, the left fielder, Cole Clark. I didn't forget.
So Clark from the stretch. And he plunks Clark. So Clark plunks Clark. And now the Hurricanes have loaded the bases, and my guess would be that that's going to be all for TJ Clark. But my guess would be wrong. So Bradley Huff, the third baseman, is going to come up with the bases loaded.
Third baseman, number 10, Bradley Huff.
We got Jonathan Martin over there at third base. Dakota Long at second. Cole Clark at first. So back to the windup with the bases loaded. TJ Clark. Up and in on Huff. Almost hit him in the head. And I think TJ Clark is about out of gas. Wager and TJ Clark can't get together on the signs. Now they can. Again from the full windup. Clark rocks and deals. Fastball in there for a strike. Hurricane faithful not overly excited about that call. 1 ball and 1 strike. To Bradley Huff. Transfer from Middle Georgia State. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses downstairs, 2-1. So the Canes with the bases loaded here. 2 outs. 7-3 ball game. Kind of making it happen this inning with not really hitting the ball. We've had a walk or 2 walks and a hit batsman and a fielder's choice. So scraping an inning together here. Fastball misses, 3-1. So TJ Clark has pitched himself into some trouble here. And Bradley Huff can sit on a 3-1 pitch and see what he likes. The 3-1 pitch may have swung at ball 4. But he runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. TJ Clark working hard here. His next pitch will be the 94th of this start. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The sacks are packed. And Huff hits one to deep center. But waiting out there is Garrett Kirkwood to retire the side. So for GSW, no runs, 1 hit, no Columbus State errors. GSW left 3 on base. Your score at the end of 6, Columbus State 7, GSW 3. And we're back here at Hurricane Stadium. We go to the top of the 7th in the 3rd and final game of the series. GSW makes a pitching change, so you can close the book on Kyle Spinks. Kyle went 6 innings. He allowed 11 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned, including a home run to Drew Webb. The new pitcher, number 34, Harrison Timberlake. Timberlake, a 6'3 freshman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, by way of IMG Academy, making his 11th appearance on the year, which would tie for 2nd. All of those appearances out of the bullpen. Harrison with a record of 0-1 with a 5.68 ERA. He's gone 19 innings, allowed 22 hits. All 12 of his runs have been earned. Only 6 walks, 19 strikeouts, and opponents have hit to a 282 clip off of the tall right-hander. So Timberlake making his first appearance of the weekend and his 11th appearance overall, all out of the bullpen. And as we said, that places him 2nd on the team, behind or tied with Kyle Britt. Britt has made 7 starts in his 11 appearances, and the only one to make more bullpen appearances than Timberlake is senior Matt Hubbard. So Harrison Timberlake stepping in here to face Columbus State as we go to the 7th. The Canes had a golden opportunity with the bases loaded and a 3-2 pitch, but they couldn't answer. Long fly ball to end the inning off of Bradley Huff's bat. But now Harrison Timberlake, the 6'3 freshman, comes in for his first appearance of the weekend. And he will face the heart of the order here for Columbus State, the cleanup hitter. So not an easy task for Harrison to start. He'll get Frank Wager, the left-handed hitting catcher. So Timberlake coming out of the bullpen, and he's a guy that goes directly from the stretch. No windup for Harrison. his first pitch. Fastball that Wager shoots a mile in the air. And Cole Clark coming in, and makes the easy play. So, hey, Harrison Timberlake, one pitch, one out. Very efficient. And he gets the hard-hitting Wager to hit a routine fly ball to Cole Clark in left. So good start out of the bullpen for the freshman Harrison Timberlake.
Designated hitter Robert Brooks.
So freshman on freshman here. Freshman Robert Brooks, the designated hitter. He was the catcher in game 1 today, facing Harrison Timberlake. Timberlake with his second pitch, and it's going to be his second out. So right fielder Jonathan Martin makes the catch. So Harrison is 2 for 2. 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So good for Harrison. And that's going to bring up Grant Berry.
Baseman number 10, Grant Berry.
So this is about as efficient as you can be so far. For the right-handed pitching Timberlake, he has a bright future here out of the Canes bullpen. Been very effective as a freshman. Berry squares and lays down a perfect bunt. You couldn't have rolled it any better, so that's going to be a bunt for a base hit. So Berry picks up Columbus State's 12th hit of the game, a bunt single. Right down the third base line. Dakota Long had no chance. Huff had no chance, and Timberlake had no chance. Kind of in the Bermuda Triangle over there. So Harrison's had all 3 balls put in play, 2 routine flyouts and a bunt single. That's going to bring up the 7th hole hitter, Austin Farr, the left fielder. Timberlake misses ball 1. Don't usually see your designated hitter as a bunter, but Brooks bunts there and bunts for a base hit. So the 1-0 pitch, Timberlake misses upstairs. So he missed low, now he missed high. 2 balls, no strikes. As we said, Harrison, although he's from Pennsylvania, spent a year in prep school down at Bradenton, Florida, down at IMG Academy. Took a little something off there on the 2-0 pitch. For strike 2-1. A personal side note, one of Harrison's prep school teammates at IMG pitches with my son up at Emory University now. So gotten to know some of the guys from IMG, and they speak very highly of Harrison. Great off-speed pitch there. Farr had no idea that one was coming. Timberlake evens the count at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the Columbus State half of the 7th. Timberlake pitches. Farr swings and barely stayed alive. Well, I guess we called a balk. So that's the 3rd balk of the game. So before the pitch, Timberlake called for the balk. That's the 2nd balk issued to the Hurricanes. Spinks had a balk earlier in the 5th inning. And back in the 3rd inning, when the Hurricanes scored all 3 of their runs, T.J. Clark was called for a balk. So the 3rd balk of the day, each pitcher has gotten a balk, and then Timberlake freezes Farr for strike 3. So Harrison Timberlake comes in, a very effective 7th inning. So Columbus State, no runs, 1 hit, no Hurricane errors, 1 runner left on base. Harrison Timberlake comes in with a quiet, scoreless 7th for Columbus after they had scored in 2 straight innings. So we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Your score, Columbus State 7, GSW 3. All right, we're back here for the bottom half of the 7th. GSW trailing 7-3. New pitcher for Columbus State. We could close the book on right-hander T.J. Clark. T.J. went 6 innings. He allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, all in the 3rd inning. So T.J. Clark leaves as the pitcher of record. And into the game now For Columbus State, number 23, right-handed pitcher Miles Dutton. Dutton, a 6'2", 190-pound junior from Woodstock, Georgia, a transfer from West Georgia Technical College. Miles is making his 4th appearance all out of the bullpen this year. He does not have a record, 0-0. He has an ERA of 23.14, a little bit skewed as he's only thrown in 2 1/3 innings. And in those 2 1/3 innings, he's allowed 10 hits, 6 runs, all earned. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .625 against him, but a very limited sample size. So Miles getting a little bit of work here as Columbus State pitches to GSW in the bottom of the 7th. As we said, Dutton, a transfer from West Georgia Technical College, and another underclassman, only a junior. So he will face the top of the GSW batting order. Jason Beta will be leading things off as Dutton finishes his warm-up tosses. Columbus continues to have activity in the bullpen. GSW does not, as Harrison Timberlake came in and silenced the Cougar bats. So second baseman Jason Beta will be the first batter that the new pitcher Miles Dutton will face as darkness starts to set here at Hurricane Field, the final home series of the 2018 season. Dutton throws a fastball, catches the outside corner for strike 1. So Beta, again, a switch hitter, stays on the left side as Dutton, much like T.J. Clark, the starter, coming from the right-hand side. The 0-1 pitch. Dutton's fastball looped into center field for a base hit for Beta. So Dutton on the 0-1 pitch throws it, and Beta kind of fights it off into center field. So the Hurricanes lead off the 7th with a base hit. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Josh Logan. So the Canes trying to get something going. They had the bases loaded last inning. Couldn't push a run across. Justin Evans going to come in and talk to Dutton. Evans is a fine-looking player out there at shortstop, and Justin's probably telling him, let's go ahead and finish this out so I don't have to come in and pitch again. As Evans closed down the game with a 1-2-3 ninth in the Game 1 victory for the Cougars. So Josh Logan steps in now. Beta leads off first. Dutton from the stretch. First pitch fastball. Logan pulls foul down the third base line and out of play. So Dutton worked ahead of Beta in the first at-bat. And now he's ahead of Logan, 0-1 as well. Canes at home Wednesday at 5 p.m. Tuskegee University out of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference comes into town. Dutton upstairs misses. Even a count at 1-1. About 2 hours and 30 minutes or so. West, just a little bit south. I'm sorry, a little bit south of Montgomery, Alabama. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 2. Somewhere between Auburn, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama. Tuskegee University. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Ooh, Miles Dutton just misses with the off-speed pitch. Evens the count at 2-2. Good eye for Logan to lay off of that one. That's been called a strike at other points in the game today. Beta short lead off of first. Dutton comes set. The pitch. And he got Logan swinging this time. So Miles Dutton records his first out. It's a strikeout, a swinging strikeout by the Hurricane center fielder Josh Logan. So that's going to bring up senior first baseman Jared Jones. Jones finishing up a fine 4-year career. Mostly a first baseman here for GSW. Dutton throws the fastball by the swinging Jones for strike 1. So Dutton's come in throwing a lot of strikes. Got ahead of Beta, got ahead of Logan, and now he's ahead of Jared Jones, 0-1. Beta singled, Logan struck out. Strike 2. So Jared behind 0-2. See if Dutton tries to get him to chase. Wager and Dutton don't look like they could quite come together on the sign, but now they do. The pitch. And, boy, we've seen this movie before. 6-4-3, double play. For the third time, Columbus State rolls a 6-4-3 double play, and that combination of Evans to Barry to Chase Brown is one the Hurricanes are not looking forward to seeing again. So for the Canes, no runs, one hit. No runners left on base. We head to the bottom or the top of the eighth. Your score remains Columbus State 7, GSW 3. All right, we're back here, Hurricane Stadium. Heading to the top of the eighth, the second inning of work for Harrison Timberlake. So both relievers came in. GSW's Timberlake gives Columbus a goose egg in the top half of the seventh, and Miles Dutton returned the favor in the bottom. So we go to the eighth. And the first baseman, Chase Brown, will start things off. Timberlake, first pitch a little bit inside, maybe a little bit high. Ball 1-0 for the freshman right-hander. Chase Brown with the big single back in the first. Great off-speed pitch there by Timberlake to even the count at 1-1. A swinging strike by Chase Brown. So we said he singled to get the scoring really rolling for Columbus. Back in the third. Another great off-speed pitch by Harrison Timberlake. He's ahead 1-2, so a good start for the freshman Timberlake. As we said, looks like he has a bright future ahead. Comes with a fastball. Brown pops it up high. Skelton's out. Oh, boy, Cole Clark coming in, and that might have been a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but Cole Clark got it done. So he called Skelton off and then had to make a diving catch out there and kind of the middle of no man's land out there. But good for Cole. He comes a long way to make the catch and retires Brown for out number one. And now Drew Webb, the right fielder, who had the last run of the game, a towering solo homer to left center field off of Kyle Spinks back in the sixth inning. So Timberlake's only allowed one bunt single. He misses with an off-speed pitch there. 1 ball and no strikes. As we said, Webb was firmly entrenched in the right field about midway through his freshman year, and he's kind of held the spot, held it down. Didn't like that call as he looks at strike one, so Timberlake's fastball gets the call. 1-1. Harrison, another quick worker. Changes speed, gets Webb out in front, 1-2. So Timberlake's come in very effective, throws a lot of strikes. As we said, he's tied on the team now for his 11th appearance. From the stretch, downstairs, 2-2. Good size on Timberlake. Every bit is 6'3", in the 200-plus pound range. And really good off-speed stuff. And Timberlake comes with an off-speed stuff that Webb swings and misses on. So Timberlake, again, another efficient inning. Strikeout of Webb and a routine fly to Chase Brown. So Columbus turns the order over, and it's Justin Evans. We won't be sorry to see Mr. Evans go. He has hurt us with the bat, he's hurt us with the glove, and he's hurt us on the mound. So he's got us all three ways. Timberlake gets him first pitch swinging, another fly ball. Cole Clark in on the run, and he makes the catch. So Timberlake, 2 effective scoreless innings, no runs, no hits, no errors for Columbus State. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The score remains Columbus State 7, GSW 3. See, I told you to put a 0 up there. And we're back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. The second inning of work for Miles Dutton. Had a very effective first inning there. The relief pitcher. Now going to face the designated hitter, Andy Moore. And again, we talked about Dutton a little bit earlier. Statistically speaking, a very small sample size. He had a rather hefty ERA, but again, only off of 2 innings of work. He looked very effective there in his first inning of work. And Dutton misses ball 1. Transfer from West Georgia Technical College. Hasn't had a lot of work, but again, looked very good in his first inning. So he misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to the Canes' designated hitter, Andy Moore, the cleanup hitter. And he might be the odds-on favorite to replace Jared Jones at first base next year. Dutton misses outside, so he's missed 3 balls in a row. As we start the bottom of the 8th. Clouds darken as the lights are on here at Hurricane Stadium. Moore gets a 4-pitch walk off of Dutton to start the home half of the 8th. And that brings up the right fielder, Jonathan Martin.
Right fielder number 20, Jonathan Martin.
Martin, again, we've said this every time up, had a tremendous freshman season. It's just lights out from the jump. Got off to a slow start this year, battled nagging injuries all fall, so he didn't get much work in the fall. Got off to a little bit of a slow start in the non-conference portion, but has really picked it back up in Peach Belt play. Rounding into form at the end of the year and should springboard into, hopefully, a good junior season. As Dutton misses again, ball 1. And there's a strike. So Dutton had missed 5 in a row, but comes in with a strike there. Martin watches. Dutton levels the count from the stretch. Moore not a particular threat to run. Martin grounds. And that ball's fair. I think everybody stopped and thought it was foul. Martin stopped. He's still going to get a double out of it, I believe. Oh, boy. No, he's not. So a lot of confusion out there. I think everybody thought the ball was foul, but the umpire called it fair. Martin stopped running. Then he started running. And then he started running. Moore wound up at third, and Martin just kind of rounded first and was out by a mile into second base. So Appleton out to argue. That was a bizarre play, to say the least. So the Canes get their 9th hit of the game. It was pulled It looked like everybody on the field thought it was foul, but the umpire called it fair. Moore wound up on third. Martin stopped completely coming out of the box. Then he started running. Then he slowed down in between first and second and was thrown out by a good 4 or 5 feet. Moore remains at third, so there's an out and a runner on third. And now Tyler Skelton to the plate. And first pitch fouled back to the net. So that potentially could have been a great start to the 8th inning for the Hurricanes. And instead we have Moore on third and an out. Dutton misses away as Wager had a dive to his throwing side to block up the off-speed pitch that missed. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Canes shortstop. Moore with a very short lead off of third. Dutton off-speed pitch that catches the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7-3. Columbus State 7 runs, 12 hits and an error. GSW 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Wager blocks up another off-speed pitch. Count levels at 2-2. So Dutton elects to go from the stretch with the runner on third. The pitch down in the dirt again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Action continues in the Columbus State bullpen. All quiet in the Hurricane bullpen as Harrison Timberlake has come in his 2 innings. Very efficient, allowing only a bunt single. His 2 innings of work. The 3-2 pitch. Skelton fights it off and fouls the ball into the pool area in right field. The culmination of the 3-game set. The Canes trying to scratch one out here as we get ready to go on a 9-game season-ending Peach Belt road trip. The 3-2 pitch. Skelton fouls it down the right field line into the Columbus bullpen, so we'll do it again. Miles Dutton only had a little bit more 2 1/3 innings of work coming into today. Got a scoreless inning in the 7th and trying to lower that ERA a little bit more here in the 8th. So Skelton's fouled off the last 2 3-2 pitches. We go again, the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So, boy, that out that Martin made at second could have had the bases loaded here. First and third. 1 out.
Senior catcher number 6, Dakota Long.
And the catcher, Dakota Long, is up. Runners at the corner, 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Miles Dutton trying to work himself out of trouble here for Columbus State. First pitch looking by Dakota Long. It's a strike on the outside corner. Columbus State has 3 times gone and gotten a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. As Dutton misses upstairs. Certainly hope that doesn't happen. I think we've all seen enough of Justin Evans. He's hurt us with his glove, he's hurt us with his bat, and he's hurt us with his pitching arm. So, Dutton again misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Senior day. Let's see if a senior can make something happen here for GSW. Dakota Long has some pop in that bat, and he drives one down the left field line, just foul. Missed it by about 2 or 3 feet. He went opposite field, tried to go down the third base line. But that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatnall Square product. Dutton comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Oh, my goodness. Dakota 6-4-3. Boy, oh boy. For the fourth time today, the inning ends on a 6-4-3 double play. So the Canes' eighth ends with no runs, one hit, one runner left on base. Your score at the end of 8. Columbus State 7, GSW 3. God, that's 4. And we're back at Hurricane Field here on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. We move to the 9th inning. Freshman Harrison Timberlake on the mound for his 3rd inning of action, as he'll face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Columbus State this inning, as Dakota Long finishes applying the catcher's equipment for the 4th time in 8 at-bats. The GSW inning ends on a 6-4-3 double play. Evans to Barry to Brown. So we move to the top of the 9th. Canes down 7-3. We scored 3 runs in the 3rd. That's the only runs that we've scored all game. Both relief pitchers, Harrison Timberlake for GSW and Miles Dutton for Columbus, have done their job. So let's see if Harrison can hold him at bay here for a 3rd straight inning, as Garrett Kirkwood, the center fielder, starts things off for Columbus State in the 9th. Timberlake misses upstairs, ball 1. 2, the Columbus State junior center fielder from Alberta, Canada. Kirkwood swings and misses to even the count at 1-1. Timberlake's been effective working from the stretch. Off-speed pitch. And it was a beauty that Kirkland had to fight off. So Timberlake ahead 1-2. Back in action at home Wednesday afternoon, 5 p.m. first pitch for Tuskegee. The Tigers in town for a non-conference affair. First time these two teams have met in a while. Timberlake comes with a fastball that Kirkwood fouls straight back into the parking lot. Wrapping up this 3-game set late into a Sunday. The 1-2 pitch, Timberlake gets Kirkwood swinging, so Harrison Timberlake has come in and silenced the potent Columbus bats. Only a bunt single allowed by Harrison. And a third baseman, Mason McClellan, huh? McClellan looks at an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Timberlake pitching in reverse, which is great. Throwing breaking ball and fastball counts, and fastball and breaking ball counts. So he's got them talking to themselves up there. Columbus known for their offensive prowess, trailing only Georgia College in the league. That looked like the same exact pitch in the same exact location, but this one was called a ball. So maybe McClellan's glare back to the umpire helped him out there. Timberlake working quickly. Upstairs with the fastball. 2-1 in McClellan's favor now. Harrison works quickly. Harrison's been efficient. Gets the sign from Dakota Long from the stretch. Change up. McClellan way out in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Hurricanes had a chance in the 7th, leaving the bases loaded, and then the 8th got off to a great start with a walk and a double, or a single that was thrown out at second and had a chance. Boy, oh boy, Harrison Timberlake breaks one off on McClellan there, and he just took his bat and started walking. So 2 great at-bats for pitcher Harrison Timberlake, and he's 1 out away from giving the Canes an opportunity here in the bottom of the 9th. Great sequence of pitches there by the freshman Harrison Timberlake. Dominant out of the bullpen this afternoon. The catcher Wager looks as, boy, Harrison, if he can do that. Each guy that comes up looks back in the dugout, and Harrison he's throwing breaking ball and fastball counts, and I think that can be maddening for a hitter. Timberlake ahead 0-1. And Wager hits it straight up in the air. Logan coming in, easy play. And another smooth inning for the freshman, Harrison Timberlake. So 3 great innings for him, only allowing a bunt single. And now the Canes got to get it going in the bottom of the 9th. Your score as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Still Columbus State 7, GSW 3. And back here for the bottom of the 9th on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. Canes down 7-3. And there's been a pitching change for Columbus State, so you can close the book on Miles Dutton. Gave 2 good innings, 2 scoreless innings, and now into the game, number 20, right-handed pitcher Drew Reeves. Reeves 5'10", 175 pounds, from Hamilton, Georgia, right up the road in Columbus. A transfer from Kennesaw State University. High school product of Harris County High School, I believe. And for the year, as we take a look at the pitching line, Drew Reeves will be making his 10th appearance. All out of the bullpen, 1 win and no losses. Pitching to an ERA of 2.45. He has 2 saves. He's gone 11 innings this year. He's given up 9 hits, 3 runs. All 3 have been earned. 5 walks, 13 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting .220 against him. So Reeves and Evans kind of share the closer's role, and it's going to be Drew Reeves here to try to shut down the Hurricanes in the 9th. And leading off for the Hurricanes, number 8, Cole Clark. So far the relievers today have been rather effective. Harrison Timberlake, 3 scoreless for GSW. And Miles Dutton with 2 scoreless for Columbus State. Drew Reeves trying to close things down, the transfer from Kennesaw. There's a long fly ball. And I believe that's 1 out as Cole Clark. I guess it was caught out there in right field. Yes, it was. So there's 1 pitch, 1 out for Drew Reeves. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Bradley Huff. So Reeves gets 1 pitch and 1 out here as the Canes trying to get it going in the bottom of the 9th to avoid the sweep at the hands of Columbus State. Reeves just misses on the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes to Bradley Huff. The second baseman, the switch hitting Jason Beta on deck, the top of the order for the Canes after Huff. The 1-0 pitch, Reeves brings it in on Huff's hands, and he fouls it off the third base side. In between head coach Brian McLean and the Hurricane dugout. Even the count at 1-1. So not a save situation here for Reeves, but Reeves kind of a herky-jerky delivery. And Huff swings through the pitch. And now Reeves in command at 1-2. Cole Clark led off the inning with a routine fly to right. And now Reeves ahead 1-2 on the Kane third baseman. I would imagine that Drew Reeves would be a tough one to pick up coming from that angle as him and Frank Wager go out and talk. Reeves again, not a Columbus native, but from right up the road in Hamilton, so close enough to probably claim for Columbus to claim as their own. Harris County High School and a 2-year stint at Kennesaw State University. The 1-2 pitch, grounded to Evans. Evans across the diamond to Chase Brown, and 2 up, 2 down for Drew Reeves. The Hurricanes' last hope for the weekend. The second baseman switch hitting Jason Beta, the top of the order. So the second baseman comes up. He'll continue to bat from the left-handed side, as he's going to face the right-handed hitting, or the right-handed pitching Drew Reeves. So we're down to our last at-bat to avoid the sweep. Columbus won the opening game 9-5. They won game 1 of today's doubleheader 7-5. And Beta hits it to straightaway center field. Kirkwood retires the side. And that's your ball game. Reeves gets them 1-2-3 for the Canes. No runs, no hits, no errors. Your final score from Hurricane Field. Columbus State completes the weekend sweep on Senior Day. Your final 7-3, the line score for Columbus State, 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. For GSW, 3 runs, all in the third inning, 9 hits, and no errors. So that is your final from Hurricane Field. The Canes back in action again Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. First pitch at 5 p.m. for a midweek tilt with Tuskegee University. So again, your final score today, Columbus State 7, Georgia Southwestern 3. I'm Director of Athletics Mike Leader signing off. Thanks for joining us and spending part of your Sunday on the Surge Sports Network.